You're listening to Mondo Cool, the only Dragon Ball movie podcast that gives you a Zenkai boost.
That's right, boys. Mondo Cool.
What's up, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to the greatest Dragon Ball movie podcast that has 3 segments in the middle that you know. That's right, it's Mondo Cool. I'm your host, KZ Excellent, and with me as always are 2 of the greatest Dragon Ball fans I know that also wear clothes. That is Dan and Bob Video Games of GigaBoots.com. How you doing?
Just kidding. I'm even more magic now.
Super Saiyan 3 is cool.
And also with me, as always, a man who screams at things to make them break, Mr. Field, MrFieldWildRide.com.
I just start screaming at a verified Twitter user and they just shatter like glass.
On this show, we happen to watch Dragon Ball films, break them down, make some segments out of it, rate them, and through science, you'll know which ones are the good ones. Or at least which ones, I don't know, get halfway up the mountain of points. Something like that. You can also listen to this early through the power of Phil telling you about giving us money.
Well, if you would like to give us money and get this show early, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For $5 a month, you get early access to Mondo Cool and our other anime podcast, Chugging Bleach, in which we unlock our Bankais. You also get access to Cursed Content Club commentary track, wherein we watch bad movies. Cursed Content by Committee, where you vote what bad movie we watch, and that also comes with a commentary track. An extended Armchair Dev Pitch is a nice little bonus where you get to actually hear our ideas from Armchair Devs before they go Super Saiyan to harm other people. That's patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
That's right. Last time we had a wonderful time, questionably, where we updated our rankings, of course, made sure everything was good. We checked out, I'm reading here, a third Broly movie.
Yeah.
They somehow snuck another one of those out. This time we're on to fresh things. We're on to, I don't know, this time we watch Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, or as it's called in Japanese,
The Rebirth of Fusion, Goku and Vegeta.
You gotta get them in there.
Yeah. Might be confused. This might be a Gotenks movie.
I couldn't handle that.
Do that thing where you butcher the other one.
Fukatsu no Fusion, Goku to Vegeta.
Man, the Japanese really can't hide it this time. It just sounds lame no matter what.
You know what I can't hide? My boundless enthusiasm in telling Dan to just quickly summarize the film.
It'll be easy this time.
Yeah, well.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well, holy fuck. I don't even know if there's... I'm pretty sure I could summarize this in like 3 sentences.
Let's get to the 3-segment part 20 minutes into this podcast if we could.
KZ, I don't think we're going to have an ability to not do that. So, Goku and Pikkon are fighting in a tournament.
Yeah!
The Kais are watching. It's very cool.
It includes my favorite line in the movie, wherein the girl Kai is like, "Shut the fuck up, you're dead." And then King Kai yells, "I may be dead, but I still won."
See, this is really great because that's the East Kai, who apparently is just a recolor of North Kai.
Yes.
The unbound creativity of a Dragon Ball Z movie, ladies and gentlemen. As far as I know, this is the first appearance of East Kai, but maybe I didn't pay attention at the end of Z.
All those Kais were in the filler arc where Goku goes to fighter heaven,
yes,
and engages in a tournament with the Hercules guy that is just Android 16 with long blonde hair and Pikkon.
Okay, so here's the thing. I remember watching that, but I didn't remember where it went, so part of me started to wonder if it was real.
I mean, it's the introduction of Pikkon. You can't forget that, Dan.
Yeah, I can. I kept going, Pikkon, that's that dude from Janemba, right?
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, that had the really good tournament where they touched the roof at one point and they said, That counted as being out. You both lose.
Yeah, because the Grand Kai had smoked weed and done nothing for so long that Goku and Pikkon were both stronger than him.
Because the prize was you get to train with the Grand Kai.
Pikkon didn't even do his signature move in this movie. I was kind of sad.
Oh, he has a signature move?
Yeah, he does. He turns into a tornado of fire.
Yeah, he turns into fire and in the show he backhands Cell so hard with it he flies into hell.
So we're having this tournament. We then cut to King Yama's fucking thing where he approves who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. There's a really bad employee in the basement not changing out the tanks properly on the soul washing machine, and it overloads and explodes with all the evil soul energy and turns him into a really fat dipshit.
So that's the machine that the Bleach is based on, right?
I guess.
Yes.
They didn't put enough bleach in.
Maybe?
So then the really fat dipshit turns everything into jelly beans and crystallizes King Yama and the fucking thing, and all, the dead come back to life because King Yama's been frozen in there and they can just do that now. We cut to a dinner scene with Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, and none of it matters. We cut back to Goku and Pikkon where they're told, hey, you should go solve this shit. You could finish your goddamn fight later. And they're like, okay, great. And Goku, because he thought it would be funny, is like, Pikkon, touch my shoulder. I'm going to teleport. And it's like, Goku, you can put your hand on him. You don't need to instruct him to touch you. You can do the instant transmission.
He's kind of a prick.
A little. He's a little bit. So then they show up at King Yama's place. It's still crystallized in that weird jelly bean thing. They can't blow it open, but then they notice on the top of it, because King Yama yells at them through the jelly bean, hey, the dipshit on top of this is the reason all this is happening. Then we get scenes of Pikkon yelling at the dipshit, and Goku saying, I like this dipshit, and Pikkon being annoyed by the dipshit, and then we cut back to Earth where the dead are alive again. We get the one scene in this movie that it all justifies this arc. You get Frieza. And Frieza's back and starts shit-talking immediately.
Yeah, Grandma Frieza.
Yeah, it's the last time we get the real voice actor for Frieza in the States.
The Genkai Frieza. That's powerful. It's funny because my brain had forgotten since... Yeah, keep in mind, I guess I should have brought this up at the beginning. Guys, this is the Dragon Ball Z movie I fell asleep during watching it as a kid because it was that exciting.
I understand now. I never saw this one.
No, I think this part where it's like Frieza's there and causing problems and is like commanding an army or whatever.
I think you're overselling
it. Is commanding a platoon of dipshit villains that you've seen before.
Yeah,
you're like
one of which is Bojack, who is a million times
I know. That's my problem.
Yes, that's funny as shit.
It summons the Frieza force, and I'm like, okay, but for 10 frames you see Bojack, but then you see running off the same building Frieza was on, seemingly being commanded one of the fucking bio warriors from World's Strongest.
The big yellow
the big yellow one. And I'm like, what is happening?
Look, they had character sheets, KZ, and they are going to use them.
They even had a Tree of Might dude, the guy turned into a robot jet or something.
Yeah, no, it was fucking ridiculous. They were just like, we love all these characters. They're all here.
It's like Bad Smash Ultimate.
And the best part
is funny because they do it again in GT for an entire arc.
Frieza's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna own the shit out of you, Gohan. I'll show you. I'll kill you because I hate your dad. And then Gohan's like, yeah, you'll never know whether or not that feels good because I'm gonna kill you. And just instantly punches and explodes him. And then starts posing like shit the moment it explodes.
I like that the Videl cheering it for him.
Yeah, Videl's like, yeah, you show Gohan, you're so cool. Like,
Gohan eviscerates Frieza with one punch and then just starts default dancing.
Yes, that is basically what happened. There's so many weird one-off scenes in this. We get a one-off scene of Hercule in a back alley. Just
He
fighting.
finally found the thing you can defeat zombies?
Yes, and that's it. We then get a one-off scene of Trunks and Goten getting a Dragon Ball out of a golf ball hole, and Goten gets hit in the head with a golf ball, and then they're like, "Ha, I got back at you." Then it cuts to the old man who hit the golf ball, and he's like, "Oh, I made it in. I made a hole in one finally." And then we just move on to they're summoning the dragon. None of this is set up.
No.
That scene was as much introduction
Yeah.
as you get to this concept, fucker.
I think it's insane that they put one of the Dragon Balls in the golf ball hole. One of the most frequently checked things ever.
Yes. There are fewer receptacles on planet Earth that are checked as frequently as a golf ball hole.
Now I'm just going to assume that someone's like, oh, this ball's mine now, and then just used it as their personal golf ball for several
They're
weeks.
big. The Dragon Ball's supposed. I assume it always is portrayed as like roughly the size of like a baseball.
And
Fuck
dense
you,
as
they had
hell.
an idea.
I feel like
had
it
an
wouldn't
idea.
fit in a golf hole.
I would have
No.
believed it more if they were like, it was lodged in this guy's asshole. And I'm like, well, I guess he didn't need to shit.
Oh man, like imagine like being out in the woods taking a shit and the dragon shoots the Dragon Balls off and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then it lands in your ass.
Yeah.
This show don't miss.
Man, what a good show we make. Maybe all of the times this movie does a transition or hard cuts to things being transformed toward the end. Maybe they wouldn't need to do that if they didn't spend so much animation and time for multiple Hitler scenes. Random vampire.
It really makes you wonder if they could have done that.
I think the movie would have just been better if we just had only one Hitler scene. Like if they just took out, those
yes.
out, it'd just be better.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
if there's only one, it served its purpose very well.
There was a really good shot as they're summoning the dragon. I thought it was important to show one moment.
That's never good.
No, it's really good. There's Bulma.
Are you sure? It doesn't really look like her that much.
Close enough.
Oh god, she looks just like her son.
Is there like a cigarette hole in the cell?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, what's going on?
I don't know. That may be a reflection off the TV. Let's just assume that for the benefit of the movie.
Right.
There were, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. This movie showcases a lot of those fancy computer graphics, or AKA CG, where they're like, did you know we could digitize a thing and slide it around?
There was definitely really weird looking things where I'm like, why does that look so weird?
It's really funny. There's so many scenes where they try to slide out a character in 3D, but they need to fill it. They need to fit it in the silhouette they left in the cell or something. So you see him wiggling in a him-shaped silhouette.
I was just thinking of the weird zoom out effect they do later on with Janemba, where the picture's not actually moving, but they're making it move.
Oh, it's really good.
I'm specifically thinking of the shot from a teensy bit later in the movie when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 and is going to fight Sicko Mode Janemba.
Yes.
And it pulls out. It's like on Janemba, who is like looks copy and pasted over the background. Like he very clearly does not belong.
Yes.
Then they pan out to show Goku, who looks just as bad.
It's really funny how many scenes are like that and how much softer scenes get if they have a cool special effects background to them. But yeah, so far I've recapped, believe it or not, 2/5 of this movie because we're 18 minutes into a 50-minute film, and that includes credits. So anyway, they summon the dragon, and they're like, dragon, put all these dead motherfuckers back in their graves and back to hell or whatever. And then he's like, okay, I can do that. They're like, good. And he's like, one moment. And then he turns on the fog machine, and he's like, I cannot do that.
I almost blacked out after almost every single episode, us joking about how Shinron can't do anything. They summon him and are like, Janemba, can you solve the problem of this movie? No.
Yes. Wait. No.
I looked at the script. No.
the dub was really funny, or at least the one I have, where they just can't say hell. So he's like, I could send them to the next dimension, but they wouldn't be stuck there.
How do you always find some weird fucked up version of these movies?
It was probably like the first dub release for that, because it was still Funimation, but it was them.
I think it was only dubbed once.
Oh,
Maybe it was
that's really
the TV
good.
version. They said send them to the next dimension.
So, after the dragon shenanigans, we get to Pikkon. He yells at the crystal that's encasing Yama's house. And when he insults it, it cracks. And he's like, oh, that's the weakness. This is important. And then we cut down to Goku, who's fighting Janemba in Chungus mode. He lured him down to hell.
He's just Majin Buu, only even more stupid.
Yes, that's really what's going on here. He's got all these holes all over him, and they're like nipple-ish, and it's not great. Goku's pretty fucking done with this, so he starts actually trying to fight him. I shouldn't skip over the part where Janemba makes 300 tiny versions of himself that are still huge.
Yes.
And then Goku just obliterates them, and then they fade away in the shot. There's no, like, they explode and the dust removes and they fade away. They just fade out that cell of animation. It's like, I guess they're gone now. Okay.
They are an illusion or something. I don't know. We don't have any idea what Janemba actually does.
Janemba's powers are really weird and turn things into jelly beans and turn other things into bad movies. So anyway, Goku starts going Super Saiyan, like, 3, and we get the most tripped out fucking CG background we've ever seen.
Did we skip past when he made a mini Goku to shoot a Kamehameha?
Oh my god, yes, I skipped over one of the few things
that.
Yeah, Goku, while going sicko mode Super Saiyan, he shoots a giant Kamehameha at fucking Janemba. And then Janemba holds up his hand, and a tiny Goku appears there to shoot a Janemba-colored beam. And it blows up Goku's beam, and he just goes, did I just shoot it myself?
It's also really poorly conveyed.
Yeah.
Because they don't show like the mini Goku beam clashing or anything. They just show an explosion in Goku's own. So I'm like, what happened?
And that's why that dub line is so good. Of, did I just shoot at me? Like, it's so funny.
I had the Japanese subtitles on because you gotta know when they added things for the dub.
Yes, that's important.
They tried to save this thing.
Which is actually funny. I think this one actually has more lines that don't have things in the dub, but have things in the sub. But in the sub, he just goes, "Oh, you use magic."
Oh yeah, you're a magician. Meanwhile, I looked it up. He said, "Was that me who shot me?" Yeah, that line's pretty good. And then he gets serious after that. That's what inspires him to go Super Saiyan 3. And he's like, you should be proud. Only Majin Buu's made me do this before. And that's when I realized Super Saiyan 3 is pretty cool, but gets used for jack shit. And I got sad. I was like, oh, they only rolled that thing out for dipshits.
I was hyped that they're like, all right, they're going to make the transformation like a hard, arduous process, because this was back when, when it was new. It wasn't just like, he's gonna flick on a light. He has 10 pounds of hair.
Yep.
KZ, you the sentence you just said scared me. Because I thought you were going, because you said I thought he would turn Super Saiyan 3 and it would be hard R.
What? Why?
Because you said arduous, and I'm like, well, obviously Super Saiyan 3 Goku is racist.
I mean, yes.
yes. The only thing keeping all Saiyan's bigot energy in check is eyebrows.
Yes, and as it turns out, it takes his life energy. He's so racist. That's lore right there. So he uses his Super Saiyan 3 punches and energy and shit to own the crap out of this giant dough ball. And then the giant dough ball turns into a Dragon Ball Z villain. I don't...
yes. They're like, we need the thing to be more of a normal threat now. Let's go.
Come on, man. We're fucking through with this shit. It's pretty unreal. I thought there would be a bit more reason for him to become cool Janemba, but no.
Yeah, it's just this is the point where it happens.
And then the fight scenes get good. It's amazing. They made him a tiny bipedal humanoid shaped thing, and they started doing like some slick choreography of like he shoots the beam, it causes this, he does a flip kick, Janemba grabs his leg, he flips his other leg over, kicks him in the head, do all this, teleport holes, mouth beam, Bob's favorite.
Yeah, I love mouth beams are great.
I like his digitized teleport. It's very cool.
Yes, when he becomes Tetris pieces and slides to the side.
None of his powers make any sense or add together, but they're all really cool.
Yes, this is correct.
I just want to see cool things. Two, the guy who headed up most of Dragon Ball Z's animation, even up to like some of like all of Super's, Yamamuro, in an interview a few years ago said, that teleport is the worst thing I've ever had to work on ever.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
I saw it.
It also looks real cool.
He went, this is so hard. If this was done anywhere later, it would just be CG, but we just had to do it by hand. And he just talked shit about that and drawing cell spots. The two worst things to do when animating Dragon Ball.
Checks out.
So he does the cool teleport thing. There's some shenanigans. There's some beams. There's some stuff. And then Janemba sees a tiny Oni club on the ground, picks it up. It's the tiniest little baby, like, shaky stick.
Yeah,
like,
what the heck?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going for with it, but... And then he picks it up and it becomes a giant badass sword. There are multiple layers of what? But then the giant badass sword shoots really cool special effects out of it. So it's all worth it.
Yes.
And the really cool special effects do like dimensional cuts that Goku has to dodge and shit. And one of them hits him and makes him start bleeding out of his shoulder. And he's just like, oh, this is terrible.
Imagine if Trunks ever got this cool as a sword.
Oh, come on, man. Why you gotta... Damn it. That would
He's
have been...
trapped in a really good OVA.
Man. But yeah, Janemba's swinging this thing all over the place. It's really cool. Goku then ends up being launched into, what was it?
Pool of blood, I
think it's called Pond of Blood. Anyway, yeah. But the thing is, because everything's trippy, because it's this movie, the Pond of Blood or whatever is shaped into a cone, because I guess Janemba loves geometry books. I don't... And it looks really cool. And, you know, Goku gets knocked into that, and Janemba has just had enough of this shit. So he starts cutting off pieces with the dimensional cuts. Bloody Pond. There we go. Dimensional cuts to cut the thing down to size and becomes a crystal of blood. It's really cool. And, yeah, then Goku just gets fucking owned even more. And he's no longer Super Saiyan 3. He's no longer Super Saiyan. It's real terrible. But you know who is here? You know what's going to save everything? Vegeta.
He's always looked good in these films.
Yeah, it's always a good look for him. He's like, guess what, Kakarot? I guess I died at the end of Z because I've been in hell and don't have a body. And Dan doesn't remember any of this.
This seems to be a weird timeline where Vegeta blew himself up to kill Majin Buu. And either it worked or Goku killed him in Super Saiyan 3 right after.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, I thought that he survived at the end, right? Like, he wasn't
He
dead.
gets brought back to life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like from a weird alternate timeline where they both are dead at the end.
Oh, right. Goku's not even dead at the end of Z, is he?
No, he is.
No, he's not.
He's not?
No.
The old Kai that comes out of the sword is like, Toriyama rode himself into a corner. I can give Goku my life to bring him back to life so he can
It was great because he was like trying to fucking shoot out UMD. The fucking Elder Kai goes, and then a halo appears on his head and Goku's alive.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I forgot Goku was alive at the end of Z. I did not think that was the case.
I was just getting sad about Vegeta remembering, what's the first movie he was featured in? Oh, The Return of Cooler, where he got his ass kicked in less than 60 seconds as soon as he appeared on screen.
I mean, that's his role in these movies.
So Vegeta gets his ass kicked as soon as he shows up.
This might be his worst performance.
Yeah,
No, Broly exists where he just cries.
I don't know some of his emotions that he goes through here.
But when Broly owns him, Broly lariats him into a building so hard like the building defies physics. In this, Janemba like grabs him with an extending arm, and he's like instantly defeated. He instantly goes out of Super Saiyan from being choked a little.
Yes,
and then he gets slammed through a bunch of jelly beans.
It was so sad. And then they get launched into like a field of needles, I believe it's called.
I don't know if I would call that Aqua Teen-esque, but Vegeta flying towards a giant mountain of needles that has a sign that says Mountain of Needles.
It's pretty fucking funny is what it is.
It's very cartoonish. It's like I hope at least I'm going to land somewhere pile of needles.
It's just a bunch of Gordos from Kirby.
Yeah. So they get launched in there. Goku says, hey, yeah, we got to use fusion. And Vegeta's like, I would rather die than fuse with you. And then he's like, Vegeta, you're already dead. And then Vegeta makes that hilarious face.
Yeah, in my dub, he's like, whatever. I'll fight Janemba. It's fine, because it isn't any worse than being dead, because I don't have a cool body like you, because I'm evil.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, there's a tangent
you should
about
fuse
that.
then. He's like, you should fuse with me then. It's not a problem. It's not worse than being dead, right? And then he goes into the cuck face mode of, oh, I can't say no to you.
So then, because if he runs away, he's a coward, and if he tries to face Janemba, he's dead. Vegeta says, fine, I'll fuse with you. So they try to fuse in the Mountain of Needles, and that doesn't work out because Janemba fills it with really cool particle beams.
Yeah, he does that really cool thing with his finger.
Yeah, he does the cool thing.
Yeah, he does his level 3 from Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, I spent most of this movie going, is this fucker in Fighters? I'm pretty sure he is, but I've never even selected him once.
He's pretty cool.
Janemba is pretty cool. Thank God, because there's not much else in this movie. So Goku explains fusion to Vegeta. I don't feel like any of this needs to be recapped with words. Janemba then looks over, right as they're fusing, and seemingly they're gonna fuse and kick his ass, and so they fuse, and then they show up and they're fat as hell, and the bad transformation gag. Just
and
like
they have to survive for 30 minutes.
And there are 407 fart jokes because he's fat, and then he trips and he eats shit, and he gets the crap kicked out of him and punched out of him, and all the Kais are watching, and they're like, oh man, he needs to survive 10 more minutes.
I'm really glad that it wasn't full 30 minutes, like in real time.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be.
There was a night I enjoyed that for this, which the Kais just kept calling him fucking Veku. As the fusion name. That Sean Schimmel decided that, Goku in this fused form is just King Kai.
See,
that's the voice I'm going to do.
It's funny that you focused on that because I focused on Christopher Sabat is just doing Kuwabara. And it's the funniest shit in the world to me. I was like, that's an inspired choice. Bravo. At this point, so there's Goten and Trunks are fighting Hitler. There's jokes about them being Aryan in the US dub. The Japanese dub doesn't even make a joke about it, even though that seems to be the joke of that
blonde
scene.
Hair, blue eyes, I should recruit them.
Yeah, see, the US dub openly makes the joke about it. The Japanese dub doesn't seem to acknowledge it, even though that seems to be the obvious joke of the scene. It's very weird.
Also, am I insane, or do like the Trunks and Goten scenes look like they're drawn differently?
I mean, yes, look at the outline.
I mean,
they have really insanely heavy outlines. I wasn't sure if I was just crazy and hallucinating.
It's like angle to angle. They changed the art style. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're in cartoon mode now.
for this shot. The next shot's just normal. And then the next shot is a different type of cartoon.
Was this like 2 movies that were combined into one movie?
No, it was one really, really paper-thin idea for a movie that they spent all the budget on special effects and then filler.
Yeah, they just decided that they were going to make it extra cartoony because it's a real-life monster.
You don't forget about the last movie where it's like, oh yeah, next time Broly's going to do something in hell. And, that not so much.
Then they're like, no one's going to buy Broly. We better make this dude just look cool.
Broly wouldn't do anything as cool as Janemba.
No.
This is correct. So, Veku is just hiding in the middle of spike balls in the middle of nowhere, just trying to hide from Janemba. Janemba rips off one of the ends of the spikes, looks over at him, and shoots out cool metal pillars out of the spike. It makes no sense, but it looks really cool. And right as it's about to smash into Veku, killing him, he splits back into Goku and Vegeta, who get a sucker punch in on Janemba before flying away a little bit. And, of course, Vegeta's mad because the fusion didn't work right. He's like, this is bullshit. Okay, we need to fuse correctly. Janemba shoots an energy beam at them. They're like, oh my god, what are we going to do? Pikkon decides to stop yelling at a jelly bean and comes down to help. He goes, I believe it's only in the US dub. He's like, I know what your weakness is. And then he yells something mean at Janemba. His face and some of his neck cracks off. And then he shoots a beam into Janemba. And Janemba seems pretty owned. But then Janemba does that thing where you punch your hands together on the side of someone's head. And Janemba, Pikkon's dealt with. He just falls down like a punk.
Yeah, Pikkon's just completely owned.
By that
There's
one
30
move.
seconds left in this movie. We have to fucking move.
And then, Goku and Vegeta fuse, and
they sure move.
They cut to as they fucking fuse. They cut to a weird effect. I have no idea what it was going for.
I think it's those 2 galaxies colliding. I'm not sure.
Is that supposed to be what it is? It looked like a record player made of drugs. I don't know how else to describe it. At this moment where they fuse, Goten and Trunks can sense that they fused, and they're like, hey, our dad's key. That's cool. And then they fuse.
and for both fusions, they immediately cut the next frame to them already fused with no manner of animation to massage it in.
Yep.
It's like there's parts
it's
missing.
Super jarring. It really is. Thank you for bringing that up, because Jesus, it's as jarring as the, hey, we found one Dragon Ball. Here's the dragon. Let's go. I'm like, whoa.
Here's the dragon. Let's go. He can't do anything.
Gotta check this fucking tick box.
Okay, so Gogeta's here. He's really cool, and he's just like, I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am he who will defeat you. And then there's some lines and shit about, you leave echoes of bad energy, and then whooshes fly out of Gogeta and punch shit into fucking Janemba. It's so fucking unreal. And then he holds up his hand and little sparkly glitter shit appears in it, and then he just goes to throw it at Janemba, who tries to own him and be cool, and the sparklies make him explode, and there's no explanation for any of it.
Erases him from history.
I forgot how bad this finale is, where Gogeta appears, takes him out within 60 seconds, and his big line is, your vibes are horrendous.
It's so good. I have no idea why you're upset. It's amazing.
It's unreal. The best part is, Janemba does a full-blown punch to Gogeta's head, and he just doesn't even flinch. He just looks at him as he knows he will get owned by this pixie dust he threw into his abdomen.
Why do they always write them like this? Why can't he have a cool transformation that makes them slightly even?
I wish that more frequently in Dragon Ball Z, if we got this where the super cool transformation happened and then immediately ended the fight because it was that good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gotenks does 100 Ghost Kamikaze, blows up all the Nazis, and that's that. We're done. The movie's over. Nothing else is worth talking about. There was a gag about Ghost coming back, but I just skipped that shit. There's an ending dialogue that really sucks between Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Videl. We're not going to talk about that. But there is a really good joke after they show that. This almost seems like the editors got this joke in. This wasn't even written in the script. They just play the animation of Shenron asking for a wish again, and then they go, "Are you ready for your wish yet?" Like he's just been summoned this whole time.
He's very patient, okay?
Even though it's clear they had to use him to get the dead back to hell. Because the barrier being down allowed them to leave.
I don't know. King Young might just been able to do his whole thing of like, okay, it's everything's back to normal.
I don't think he could do that from his desk to someone on Earth. I think he has to send.
He mentions having many powers near the beginning, so maybe he can.
And then we get the ugliest credit sequence with what I think is a new song. So that's the movie. Thank you, everyone.
Movie is beautiful.
Patreon.com/GB podcast.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Casey, we have segments still.
Shit. Okay. Well, this time I'll remember the right segment order. We have the Yamcha Award first up, the biggest disappointment, and I'll throw it to Dan.
Vegeta. He might as well have been Yamcha. It is.
Yeah, Yamcha would get owned by jelly beans.
Yes, he would eat too much and get a stomachache.
All right, Bob.
I hate to do this to the guy, but Pikkon.
Okay, yeah.
He gets so owned. It's really sad. Like I said before, he doesn't even get to his cool move.
He gets hit once.
What? He did damage.
He sat there yelling at the jelly bean for like the whole movie, and it wasn't even making an impact. Really?
It was.
King Yama yelled at him for not doing it good enough.
No, there's a part where you clearly see that he's been doing it so much that he's dug in like a little donut hole.
Yes. He dug like a little tiny man cave.
But that never ended up helping anything.
Correct.
Like that's if that got the payoff in any way, I wouldn't give him the award. But
Goku, you go fight Janemba. I'll sit here in Minecraft.
I need to find Diamond, Goku.
Okay. Phil, go ahead.
That's almost every character in this movie.
I know.
Frieza, I guess. Because
Frieza.
He just gets Frieza just gets popped like a fucking boil.
I like that version of Frieza coming back more than what they do in the other movie.
What's a resurrection?
Gohan doesn't even have to go Super Saiyan. He's just like, I'm just gonna punch you once and that'll be it.
Yeah, it's over, man.
And then he starts repeatedly dabbing.
That was the best shit.
I think that we should have given it to Bojack because he showed up for like half a second.
So, hey, Casey, who are you going to give the Yamcha award for?
Goten and Trunks.
Okay.
They are a unit. They suck. It took them a third of this film to kill Hitler.
Yeah, that seems unreasonable.
Yeah, it seems like they could have just looked at him and it'd be over, but they somehow failed.
Yeah, you would have made a better film if you just killed him immediately, so the gag would be done, and then I wouldn't have to see it anymore.
What if they just flew completely flat, right? Fists out at about like waist height, and then just slowly went through every tank? They would be done faster.
Yes. Next up is sometimes it's my favorite segment of all time, where I need you to bring in a character from this film that you think can beat Jiren from Dragon Ball Super. And we're going to lead off with Phil.
A character in this movie who can defeat Jiren. Bad conveyance.
Okay, explain.
Someone will attack Jiren. You won't see how the attack works or what it's doing because it'll be cut in a weird angle, and then we'll cut back to Jiren being defeated.
You're right. And it's also Dragon Ball Super, a show that at many times was not given enough time to be finished correctly. So they're willing to take that chance. They may in fact cut that corner. I'm going to go next. I'm going to pick Fat Janemba.
Okay.
What's going to happen is they're going to have an epic battle, but then Fat Janemba is going to create a baby Jiren.
Yes!
That as we've seen, is equal in power, and it will defeat normal Jiren.
Ooh.
Case closed.
Yeah.
Bob.
I'm going to go with Gogeta, because he's apparently magical and amazing. Literally
Your
nothing
vibes
can
are
touch
horrendous.
him. Jiren would just punch him and then explode for literally no reason.
Well, that's not true, Bob. He would explode because Gogeta would throw magic pixie dust into his abdomen. Because Jiren has bad vibes.
And then the sparkles would turn into a normal character with writing in it, and then it would walk away.
Yeah, Jiren definitely has bad vibes. He would be owned immediately.
Yes.
Of course, one of his level 3s just punching the ground and the earth explodes.
Jiren, Gogeta is just this screen cap.
Oh no. Sir, your vibes are rancid. I must ask that you die quickly. Dan, what you got?
I think it's pretty fucking obvious. Janemba. Because Jiren doesn't have magic pixie dust shit.
Yeah, that seems the only thing that can kill this guy.
Right. Like, by the rules of this movie, Jiren does not have magic pixie dust shit.
Sorry, I got bad news.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yes, he does actually.
Hmm.
He has this thing where he looks at you and then pixie dust is in front of you a little bit and then you're just eviscerated.
Yes. It's really cool.
Okay, then I'm going to say that soul washing machine would probably own the shit out of Jiren. Now, to actually have the fight, he has to crawl in.
That's the only honorable way. Anything else would be exploiting the weakness of the soul washing machine.
Exactly. If he fought it from where it couldn't attack back, that would be cowardice.
Jiren, I can defeat you with this blast furnace. And Jiren's like, well, if I don't crawl inside, it's not true strength.
God. Okay. Last fucking thing that we do of these 3 segments. We're gonna take the main villain.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna have you pit something from the normal canon shows. Be like, this person can beat the villain of Fusion Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dan, we'll just have you go. We'll have you go again. Who do you think can beat Hitler?
I think... Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, Janemba.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and say Bobbity because he probably has some magic pixie dust.
God damn it!
I'm going to say he can figure something out. He's got magic. He can probably summon some magic pixie dust, throw it into his abdomen real quick. And then, in a worst case scenario, he can take a punch. He might die, but he will win because Janemba's dead.
That's how it works.
Feel.
This is the most fun this has ever been because the villain died to absolute bullshit. It's like if the villain died to a hug and we just sat there like, I think Harkfield gives good hugs.
I'm gonna say Goten and Trunks.
Okay.
Because they're babies and therefore the arch enemy of Legos, which he seems to be.
Kids, take Janemba out of your mouth.
Don't leave Janemba on the floor or your father will step on it in the middle of the night and get real mad.
Okay, Bob.
I'm gonna go with Whis because I feel like he's the kind of guy who would bring around pixie dust.
Oh yeah, 100%. It would really be, Bob, you're right, but it actually would be spices from a very exotic planet. But he would just throw it at Janemba and it would work anyways because it was really shiny.
Yeah, he'd be confused enough.
He'd be like, wait, is that... Okay, I guess I'll die. God, what a stupid villain.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's really good.
He's like, he's maybe the most Dragon Ball Z villain of all Dragon Ball Z villains because he has amazing, like, cool visuals, but then he dies in the most dipshit way possible.
Monster Carrot.
Okay.
What is that?
It's Monster.
You don't remember the iconic villain from original Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
Monster Carrot?
No, I'm sorry.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that, Casey?
He'll transform him into a carrot.
Yep. Okay. But now he's a carrot made of Legos.
Yeah, because the entire concept is if you touch him, you turn into a carrot.
Okay.
He was in episode like 8.
Yes, he was. That's why I've seen him.
All right. Well, it's time for my favorite part of the show, where we start shooting. At this point, we're going to give a review. We're going to give this thing a score, ranking from 0 to 7, and then we'll find out how it shakes out against the 17 other things we've had to watch. And we're gonna start with Feel.
This is boring and bad, but it has like two cool things, so I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay.
All right, Bob.
This is probably going to be the biggest gap we've ever had.
Yes.
I'm giving this thing a 6. This is the coolest thing outside of Dead Zone because it's nothing but, oh yeah, these are some really cool effects we made for Janemba. There's a lot of bad stuff around it, but I don't expect any of that to ever be good in a Dragon Ball Z movie anyway. So if I get a couple cool fight scenes, that's better than these other movies.
Now hold on. I just want to say that ever since like episode 1 or 2, or even before the show started, Feel has maintained, don't worry, Fusion Reborn's where it gets good.
So many people love this one. I'm like, why?
Bob just explained it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm so glad
But
that I
they
don't
hate
feel like
movies that have this thing more, like Android 13 and Lord Slug.
Now I'm shocked.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna feel awkward giving this a decent score because I'm like, it's animated really well, and I generally like the power set of the villain. And the end, like I said, is really stupid and bad, but that's what makes it like a 10.
Yes,
So I am
immaculate.
Yes, it's immaculate. I'm giving it a 6.
Oh my god.
Dan.
Well, it's funny looking at it already. It's already hit 14. Which puts it above so
Which
many.
is really good. It's so hard for some of these to get past the 10.
So people have been watching this the whole time. I'm pretty sure I've expressed in multiple other ones that I was really not looking forward to Janemba. That I fell asleep during it as a kid. It is not a good movie. But we're so far into Mondo Cool, I worry it may have damaged me because I'm giving this film a 5 out of 7. It's fucking okay, let's break it down. 1, it's fucking hilarious. There's no corner of this film that isn't unbelievably stupid. 2, there are really cool special effects shots and ironically funny special effects shots of, we got to zoom out, keep Goku within the Goku silhouette. He's just wiggling inside of there. But then you also have the dimensional cuts and the cool background that appears when Super Saiyan 3 goes off. In 3, the villain dies in such an inexplicably stupid manner that I can't even begin to describe to someone other than Goku makes a really pretty ball appear in his hand, and that handball is pixie dust, and he throws it at his gut, and then Janemba explodes because he has like a gluten intolerance or something. I don't know.
Well, Dan?
Yeah.
We have to have a very serious and quick conversation because thanks to the most insane rating we've ever done, this has the same score as the thing that tied for 3rd. So we have to have a discussion now.
Oh no.
Where
Yeah, 2 other things have a 19.
2 other things have a 19. So I'm gonna ask you, Dan, is this better than Cooler's Revenge?
Yes.
Okay. Is it better than Lord Slug?
No.
Okay. Bob, better than Cooler's Revenge?
Yes.
Better than Lord Slug?
Yes.
Feel, is it better than Cooler's Revenge?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it better than Lord Slug?
Fuck no.
Well, I think it's better than Cooler's Revenge, but not better than Lord Slug.
So KZ, how about we put it between the two?
I mean,
I think we will.
That seems to be where it lands.
I think we will in fact put it there. Phil gave it a 2, but it still wound up being our 4th best Dragon Ball film of all time.
I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it again. I didn't feel no neurons fired during this for me at all.
Well, that's
I don't
fair.
know how
I told you before. I fell asleep during this fucking thing. So you say that, and I go, yeah, of course. But at the same time, I was doubled over laughing.
Maybe maybe I got tricked by so many people saying it was great, and I didn't expect. Yeah, they mean these combined 3 minutes are great, and everything else is visual noise.
I don't know. It's not very often that I'm watching a fight scene in a Dragon Ball film, and I'm going, wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing here. Like, there's a lot of effects work in this that's really fucking good, and some choreography with the Janemba versus Goku fight that's really fucking good too. Not all these movies hit that level.
That is true.
It's so hard to think of any other movie it does.
It's just the rest of the stuff is like a millstone is around its neck for me. It like almost felt like a slight, like if Bio Broly had better fight scenes.
I can't even imagine Bio Broly with
No.
That's so hard, and I'm not even saying that.
Also, there's this one shot with Gogeta where he knees Janemba in the neck, and then they like circle him with the magic wand tool in Photoshop and pull him to the right and then pull him back for a second hit, and he doesn't move, and that also made it lose a little bit.
Let me explain what would get me way closer to your score. Okay, Feel?
Okay.
The teleportation did exist. The cool portals did exist. If Goku that one time didn't shoot spectral punches out of his shoulder and chest that looked like cool ribbons shooting through the air,
Yeah,
if there wasn't a cool dimensional
cool.
sword, like there's so many really neat things.
If Janemba didn't create a smaller Goku.
That may be the single craziest thing in all of this. The US dub read of what? Wait, was that me who shot me? It's like so perfect for the tone of that scene. Meanwhile, Japan, it's like, wait, you're a magician? And I'm like, no, that you should be a lot more floored by seeing yourself.
Yes.
And that never comes up again. That's the best part.
I know, right? His moveset is so stupid.
It literally is just the like South Park thing of, yeah, he's got a lot of powers.
Yeah. I expected to come in and just absolutely hate this, but it has like a really strong collection of really neat shit. It sure does have some bad scenes though, but it's nowhere near as bad as honestly even half of these films. When it comes to, please.
I mean, I'm looking at my list. Even giving it a 2, it still is above in the top half. I gave so many things a 2.
Yeah, no, you've got 3 1s and a shitload of 2s on your list, so you're totally right.
That were adjusted from the future a little bit.
Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I really did expect to conk out in the middle of this, but I'm watching it and I'm like, this is the funniest goddamn movie we've seen so far.
Am I looking at this right? Is my average score the exact same number as KZ's somehow?
Yeah.
1 second.
Like down
what?
to the third digit decimal place?
What?
Look,
No,
both of our averages based on our scores are 3.117.
See, the funniest shit is I was like, no, that's not true. It's leaving out the latest score. Shit, you both gave it the same score. Oh my god.
All right, I'm going to roll through. We've done 18 of these so far. The first, we're going to hit up the bottom 4. I'm not going to do the scores anymore because it's just such a nightmare trying to read it.
Yeah.
But these bottom 4 got a 5 or below.
They sure as fuck did.
Yes, because we instituted zeros eventually. With only 1 point. Plan to eradicate the Saiyans is our worst thing at 18. Followed by, at number 17, The Return of Cooler. Then number 16, Bio Broly. Coming in at number 15, History of Trunks. Then we get into some, more positive stuff. Where it, tries to get a 10, but then kind of shits a little bit. We got Bardock, Father of Goku at 14. Then Tree of Might at 13. Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle at 12. Broly Second Coming at 11. Then, a bit more positive. We can get past that 10 barrier with these. We got Curse of the Blood Rubies, number 10. Broly, number 1, his power is maximum at number 9. Mystical Adventure at 8, World's Strongest at 7, BoJack Unbound at 6, Cooler's Revenge at 5, Fusion Reborn at number 4, Lord Slug at 3, and then the only 2 films that could break past 20, Super Android 13 at number 2, and Dead Zone at number 1, with a commanding 22, a film we saw 14 months ago.
Oh my god.
It can't be stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't. I'm gonna be honest though, we're doing this correctly. Because I think if there were 4 Dragon Ball Z movies I would want to show someone, it's our top 4. 100%.
Yeah.
I would like to watch those again. They are all delightful.
I think Fusion Reborn really stands out in that list.
Yes, it's very, very weird in that way.
It's definitely very weird. Kakarot,
Well-
I'm dead now, and so are you, and we must fuse. Okay,
I guess.
Vegeta, I guess that happened.
I'll believe
Well-
you on this.
As we close out, it is once again time for Bob to read about what we're going to do next for our 19th episode and the final Dragon Ball Z film from their original run.
Ooh.
I believe it's finally time.
Yep. It's time for movie 13.
Chrono Trigger is a raw game. Would you like to see Chrono Trigger characters in Dragon Ball? And also Godzilla? Next time on Mondo Cool, Wrath of the Dragon.
Doo-doo.
This one's going to get like an 8.
I remember this one being a lot worse.
It really is. It's gonna get so low. It's gonna feel like Whiplash.
People are going to be so mad.
It's gonna get so low. We should watch this tomorrow.